Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel Let's Flourish. Dear viewers, in the previous video we were discussing about class 10th geography chapter 1, that is resources and development. Now we are going to continue the content. This is me Pragati Pandey. So first of all, going with the recap what we have studied earlier. After international resources, we are going to discuss about the status of development. On the basis of status of development, the resources are classified as. So we are going to see in this presentation we will discuss about the development of resource on the status of development, on the basis of status of development. So here you can see several blocks are present. One is blue, orange, green, purple. These four blocks are present over here. The blue block, which is presenting the potential resources. Potential resources are the resources which has much efficiency, but their technology is not developed to use that particular resource. Second one is orange block, that is stock resources. Stock, that means which is present in a stock, which is present for us and which is limited. Third one is purple block, that is developed resource. Developed, that means which is developed by the involvement of human with the help of the natural resource. Natural resource with the help of human being, it is converted into some other individual resources which is useful for us. Okay, now the next one is green, that is reserved resources, which is reserved for future generation. So if we think about the blue block, we will see that it is potential resource. Potential resource, that means it has much efficiency. It has much efficiency for energy production for other things. But the different technique, the unique technique, technology is not yet developed in such a way so that we can use this type of resources in a proper and systematic way. The example of such type of resources are solar and wind. That means sun rays are present on our earth's surface from many years, but from last 2 decades we are knowing the method how to use the solar energy. Likewise, wind is also a huge energy which can be helpful for us, but from last 2 decades you can say that this wind energy is also useful. Earlier we used to wind energy we were using for agricultural practices, for swimming, for other agricultural practices, for clarifying the grain particles. We were using the fans, wind for that, but the wind has a large amount of energy and we are unable to use that due to the lack of technology. So they are potential resources. Once the technology will develop, they will be very helpful for us. And these two resources, this solar and wind, these two resources will continue on the earth till this solar, sun and this wind will present on earth. So this is potential resource. Now we will discuss about the stock resource. If we see the example of stock resource, we will see the hydrogen and oxygen in water is stock resource. If you think that why hydrogen is used, it is used as a fuel. In jet planes and rockets, hydrogen is used as a fuel, whereas oxygen is your respiratory substance for human being, breathing substance for human being, which is helpful for us in our respiration. So this oxygen and hydrogen is present in the water in the combined form. You know that the molecular formula of water is H2O. That means the water contains two molecules of hydrogen and one molecule of oxygen, and it is present in combined form. If we see the water, it is present on earth's surface by 70%. So what, there is no technology to take this hydrogen and oxygen from this amount of water and use in other things. So this hydrogen and oxygen is very very useful for us, and it is present in the form of water as a stock. जब कभी हमारी टेक्नोलॉजी इतनी डेवलप होगी कि हम वाटर से ऑक्सीजन को और हाइड्रोजन को अलग करके हम उसको हमारे टेक्नोलॉजिकल यूजेस में ले सकें, अदर यूजेस में ले सकें, अपार्ट फ्रॉम ड्रिंकिंग हम अदर यूजेस में भी ले सकें, वो भी हमारे लिए एक स्टॉक रिसोर्स के रूप में काम करेगा. If we will discuss about the developed resource, अगर हम developed resource की बात करें, then the soil and aviation are developed resource. That means the surface of soil. What is that? Once it was a soil, it was used for agricultural practices, or it was just a barren land. Now, these days, it is used for manufacturing industries, for making buildings, for making schools, for making park. It is used. That means it is developed resource. Whereas aviation, that means in air. If we will see that the atmosphere is also the air, the area, the atmosphere above the land is also useful for the transportation, for traveling by planes. All these things are the developed resource. पहले एटमॉस्फेयर का यूज़ हम नहीं कर पाते थे, लेकिन अब देखिए जब से प्लेन्स का आविष्कार हो गया, ग्लाइडर्स हो गए, हेलीकॉप्टर्स हो गए, हम ये भी यूज़ कर पा रहे हैं. दैट मीन्स इट इज़ अ डेवलप्ड रिसोर्स. इफ वी विल सी द रिजर्व्ड रिसोर्स, वी विल बी डिस्कसिंग अबाउट द फॉरेस्ट, वाटर, मिनरल्स एट्सेट्रा. मिनरल्स हैं, चाहे उनको आप ऑर्नामेंट्स के फॉर्म में रखिए, ज्वेलरी के फॉर्म में रखिए, और किसी भी फॉर्म में रखिए, दे विल प्रेजेंट in the way it is. So they are our reserved resources. Now, if we will discuss one by one these potential resource, stock resource, and this developed resource, and reserve resource, we will see that the potential resources are those resources whose quality and quantity is unknown because of lack of technology. Yes, earlier I have told you that potential resources are those resources whose quality and quantity is unknown. मतलब ऐसे रिसोर्स हैं जिनकी क्वालिटी के बारे में भी हमें नहीं पता, उनकी क्वांटिटी के बारे में भी हमें नहीं पता, और क्योंकि टेक्नोलॉजी उतनी नहीं है, इस वजह से हम इन रिसोर्सेज को यूज़ नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. जैसे कि अगर हम सोलर एनर्जी की बात करें तो पिछले 10, 20, 30 सालों से सोलर एनर्जी को लोग यूज़ करने लगे हैं. अदरवाइज़ पहले नहीं यूज़ कर पाते थे, पहले टेक्नोलॉजी ही नहीं थी कि सोलर एनर्जी को यूज़ भी करना है. नाउ, stock resources, material in the environment which have the potential to satisfy human need, but human beings do not have the appropriate technology to access these. कह रहा है कि stock resource are those resource which is present in our environment, which is present beside us in the environment, and it has that potential, it has that quality to fulfill our needs, but due to the lack of technology, it is as it is the way it is. Now, stock resources, resources which are surveyed and their quality and quantity have been determined for utilization. The development of resource depend on technology and level of their feasibility. Stock resource ऐसे resource हैं जिनकी क्वालिटी और क्वांटिटी को तो मापा जा सका है, उनके बारे में जानकारी प्राप्त की जा सकी है, लेकिन अभी टेक्नोलॉजी को उतना नहीं डेवलप हो पाई है कि हम उनको ईजिली प्रोड्यूस कर पाएँ. अगर हम बात करें, स्टॉक रिसोर्सेज आर द सबसेट ऑफ स्टॉक विच कैन बी पुट इनटू यूज विद द हेल्प ऑफ एग्जिस्टिंग टेक्निकल नो हाउ, बट देयर यूज हैज़ नॉट बीन स्टार्टेड. दिस कैन बी यूज फॉर मीटिंग फ्यूचर रिक्वायरमेंट. ऐसे स्टॉक जो प्रेजेंट है हमारे अर्थ सरफेस पे, जो हमें पता है कि इनको किस तरीके से यूज़ करना है, लेकिन अभी उसका यूज़ स्टार्ट नहीं हुआ है. ये हमारे आने वाली फ्यूचर जनरेशन के रिक्वायरमेंट को फुलफिल करने के लिए यूज़फुल हो सकते हैं. So that's all for today. Thank you everyone. Please like, share and subscribe.